Something massive is happening right now in the U.S. auto industry. General Motors just dropped a bombshell that's got the entire market on edge. In a move nobody saw coming, GM has slashed prices on some of their most popular trucks, sending shockwaves through dealerships, rattling competitors, and firing up truck buyers across the country. We're talking thousands off sticker prices on models like the Silverado 1500, the Sierra HD, and even deep incentives on newer trims that just hit the lot. Why? Because inventory is piling up, and GM is hitting the panic button. Hard. For months, truck sales have been sluggish. Interest rates are up, gas prices are unpredictable, and consumers are holding back. But GM can't afford to sit still any longer. Their lots are overflowing. Silverado inventories are climbing at the fastest pace since 2020, and now it's do or die time. So what did they do? They launched an aggressive discount strategy that undercuts even Ford and Ram in some markets. Up to $10,000 off on certain trims, 0% financing for qualified buyers, and unheard-of lease deals that are making buyers do double takes. This isn't just about pushing trucks. It's about survival. Dealers are under pressure to move metal, and GM knows that if they don't act now, they risk losing serious ground to competitors, and even to newcomers like Toyota and Rivian, who are creeping into the full-size pickup market. The bombshell discounts aren't just on old stock either. Even the 2025 Silverado ZR2 is seeing cashback offers, and that's a performance truck that's been hyped for months. Behind the scenes, insiders say this move is part of a broader strategy shift. GM is trying to clear the decks ahead of a major EV truck rollout in 2026. They can't have gas-powered inventory lingering when electric Silverados and Sierras hit showrooms. So they're cutting deep now, taking short-term hits to set up for what they see as the long-term game: total dominance in the EV truck space. But here's the twist. These discounts are triggering chaos across the industry. Ford dealers are demanding new incentives to compete. Ram is reportedly rushing out fresh offers on the 1500 and even considering limited-time rebates on its HD lineup. And used truck values? Dropping fast. Resale prices on late-model Silverados and Sierras are starting to dip as buyers flood the market for new discounted models. This aggressive pricing isn't just shaking up sales, it's changing consumer behavior. Buyers who were waiting on the sidelines are now diving in, grabbing high-trim trucks at prices we haven't seen since pre-pandemic days. And with the summer sales season heating up, GM just set the tone and forced every other truck maker to play catch-up. And let's be clear, this isn't just a discount, it's a declaration. GM is done playing it safe. They're using their scale, their dealer network, and their pricing power to make sure they don't lose ground in the most profitable segment of the U.S. auto market. Trucks are GM's bread and butter, and with margins getting squeezed, they've decided the best defense is a bold offense. This shock move has analysts buzzing. Wall Street is watching how this gamble plays out. If it works, GM could not only recover lost sales but also steal market share and set up a smoother runway for its electrified future. But if it backfires, it could mean deeper trouble across the entire U.S. auto supply chain, because these price cuts don't just affect GM's bottom line. They send ripples through suppliers, parts manufacturers, logistics, and even union negotiations. The UAW is already watching closely. They've been pushing hard on job security and fair wages in a shaky market, and this kind of discount firestorm raises red flags. If GM's margins shrink too far, layoffs or plant slowdowns could be on the table by early next year. That's why this isn't just a sales strategy. It's a high-stakes chess move with multiple layers. And here's another angle no one's talking about: fleet buyers. Commercial clients, contractors, utility companies. They live and breathe truck reliability and value. And now, with these deep GM discounts, they're re-evaluating orders for the rest of the year. Some are canceling pre-orders with other brands and jumping back to GM because the cost savings are just too big to ignore. For GM, winning back the fleet segment is a hidden victory, one that locks in thousands of sales and keeps production lines humming. Meanwhile, on the showroom floor, the vibe has shifted. Dealerships that were quiet last month are now seeing a spike in foot traffic. Sales reps are working overtime, and trucks that used to sit for 90-plus days are suddenly gone within a week. Buyers are walking in with old trade-ins and walking out with fully loaded Silverados at prices that feel like 2018 again. It's created this perfect storm of urgency. People know this won't last long, and they're acting fast, but here's the wildest part. GM's own marketing team is barely promoting this. No flashy Super Bowl-style ads, no major national campaigns. Instead, they're letting the buzz spread organically, through dealership alerts, social media leaks, and word of mouth. It's a guerrilla-style approach to discounting, and it's working. The scarcity psychology is kicking in. People feel like they've uncovered a secret deal, and that energy is driving even more foot traffic. At the same time, rivals are scrambling behind the scenes. Ford is reportedly holding emergency pricing meetings to reassess their summer sales strategy. Ram is weighing another round of incentives just months after trying to stabilize their margins. Toyota's Tundra division is caught completely off guard. There's no easy way for them to match GM's pricing without taking major losses. And then there's Tesla, watching from the sidelines as traditional truck brands swing hard in the pricing war. While their Cybertruck rollout faces delays and production bottlenecks, GM just changed the rules of the game, and it's forcing everyone else to react. Not just with pricing, but with speed, strategy, and long-term planning. Dealers that were planning to hold back inventory for Q4 are now unloading everything. There's a sense of urgency unlike anything we've seen in years, and it all started with GM's bold, market-shaking move. And it raises the question, if GM is willing to go this far to move trucks today, what happens next week? Or next month? Will we see even deeper discounts? Will Ford, Ram, or even Toyota break ranks and launch their own price blitz? Will EV truck prices fall as a result of this gasoline-powered pricing war? Or is GM just getting started? Because here's the thing. This may just be phase one of GM's larger master plan. Insiders hint that this isn't a short-term clearance sale. It's the opening salvo of a full-scale reset. GM executives are reportedly preparing for a complete repricing of their entire truck portfolio, gas, diesel, and EV alike. That means what we're seeing now could be a preview of permanent pricing shifts aimed at regaining dominance, especially as new competition floods in from both traditional and non-traditional players. Rivian, Canoo, and even Chinese automakers, with ambitions to enter the U.S. market, are closely watching GM's every move. If the world's second-largest automaker is slashing truck prices, it sends a brutal message: compete or get crushed. And for companies trying to gain a foothold, that's terrifying. They can't match GM's scale, distribution, or financing muscle. This move is meant to suffocate the competition before they even get off the ground. And consumers? They're in the driver's seat right now like never before. Buyers are walking into dealerships with confidence, knowing they have leverage. People who once thought a full-size pickup was out of reach are now back in the game. Young buyers, small, business owners, rural families, they're all seeing this moment as a rare opportunity. And GM knows that once someone switches into their ecosystem, especially with OnStar, GM rewards, and loyalty offers, they're hooked for years. Meanwhile, banks and lenders are adjusting fast. Financing departments are rewriting loan structures. Credit unions are launching special truck-only loan programs. It's become a total chain reaction. Even insurance companies are jumping into the mix, offering new bundled deals just to ride the wave of increased sales volume. This isn't just about selling trucks. GM has ignited an entire economic ripple effect in the auto sector. And let's not forget the ripple effect it's having on used trucks. Prices on 2- and 3-year-old Silverados are taking a nosedive. Resale values that once held steady are now cracking under pressure. Auction houses are reporting higher volumes of trade-ins as customers rush to upgrade. The used market is cooling, fast, and it's only going to get colder as more new discounted units hit the streets. But what about EVs? That's the next shoe to drop. GM hasn't touched EV pricing yet. But the writing's on the wall. If this pricing strategy succeeds in driving volume and crushing inventory, you better believe they'll use the same playbook on the electric. Silverado, Blazer EV, and Sierra EV. And once they start discounting those, it's going to put massive pressure on companies like Ford's F-150 Lightning and even Tesla's Cybertruck, which are already facing production delays and demand volatility. And that's why everyone, from Wall Street analysts to Detroit auto execs, is glued to this situation. Because what GM has just triggered is more than a price war. It's a recalibration of value in the American truck market. A battle over who controls the narrative, the pricing, and ultimately the loyalty of the American truck buyer.